I do. Okay. Whew, I panicked for a moment. Pressing. I do. No. I handled it perfectly, like a pro. In the top right side, there is the dragon, the phoenix, the gamer. It is Zest. Did the French infect me? No, it was actually my little nephew. In the bottom left side, Red Zerg fighting for the Freaks. Is he still with the Freaks? He was 2 days ago, so I assume he is. He is SOO. I know they're a different type of Freaks, but look at this. I don't think that is still right? They must change this if it's no longer the Freak of Freaks. Well, I probably wouldn't have been as heavily influenced if it wasn't for the lack of sleep that was occurring there as well. There really was hardly any. Mostly because, well, my sleeping schedule is not the same with my little nephew. I'm not used to having kids. Yeah, in the morning he would just kind of run around the hallway. Asking, well, questions, as, you know, 2-year-olds do. They ask, oh, what is this? What is this? And then they, you know, once they learn, they're like, oh, this is this. And then they run over to another thing and they're like, oh, this is this. That's, yeah. You're like, yeah, that's right. That is that. And then you're like, good, we've learned that now. But then it comes back. It comes back hundreds of times. You thought the fun of learning stopped the first time you learned something, but no sir, not on that age. Ah. Forget about that. 2-year-old is way better than a 1-year-old, even more. Ooh, wow. Man. Yeah, I don't. This 1-year-old, he didn't speak as much. He was just, you know, busy being cute and more adorable. Hitting himself in the face accidentally. Although he still does that sometimes. Anyway, regardless of that, let's talk about other stuff. Except, you know, things that aren't about my young nephew. There's, Void Ray on the way. A couple of adepts being built. 2 of them. Nice pair. We all know they do better in 2. It's like batteries. Why they haven't figured out, you know, a way to make 1 big battery for something, I don't know. Most things, just 2 batteries. Just seems the way to go. Just seems the way to go. Little creep tomb in there as well. Wondering if he's gonna do anything else. Well, the Oracle seems like the follow-up here. It's a bit of the logical follow-up. We are watching Zest here, after all. SOO, on the other hand, he had his natural base blocked a while ago, so he clearly took the unnatural base first, but now, at this moment, the 3rd base is finishing up over here as well. So they're starting to get a bit aggressive with the Void Ray first, wants to clear out the path a little bit for the Oracle. Let's see what he can accomplish here. Spread out a little bit. The Oracle definitely preoccupying the Queen, so the Void Ray just having a Hail Mary here on the Overlord. Doesn't quite get it, but does pull out before it takes, well, significant HP damage. SOO, on the other hand, he's got himself a rowdy bunch of Zerglings here across the map. Trying to get a cancel on this base over here. I'm not sure if it's gonna succeed. Yeah. Could be a rough one. Gets the pylon. That's something. That is something. Gets another adept as well. That's probably all he's gonna get. Oracle, 2 kills still. Only the 2 drone kills we witnessed, it would appear. that more Zerglings? I think you want to keep trying to make Zerglings to go for this, right? No sir, and he agrees. He's been building drones for a while now, after all. Still kind of has these little buggers around, just in case. Quick dart into that area. I thought that would be pretty well guarded, but he did commit for it. Getting only one drone, but gets the Oracle out of there as well. So hey, that is value. Trading some HP over there. Overseer in the corner being moved, quite far away. It's difficult for SOO to get a complete read on Zest, I suppose, so that could be the reason why he's trying so desperately to get an Overlord nearby. Right, those Void Rays have been doing a pretty good job, apparently. Keeping those floaty little Zerg balloons at a bit of a distance. Zerglings neither really getting by the front door. There was a probe in there. There's a depth spin in there as well. So a hard time to get to full scout. But he most certainly will get a full scout off here, as we will see him discover 1, 2 Stargates overall so far, with a fleet beacon there. Of course, there is a third. Not entirely aware of it just quite yet. But, yeah, let's see if he does anything in particular. Alright, yep, after that, read 7 Corruptors on the production. Still getting himself the Roach speed, as well as the ranged upgrades and such. Very understandable. It's never a bad thing to have Roaches be fight ready, even if you don't necessarily want to go straight away for quite a Roach army. It's kind of the way the matchup works, right? Or maybe StarCraft 2 in general. It counter things pretty heavily, so if there's suddenly Archons around, it's nice to be able to say like, alright, let's just get a couple of Roaches, deal with those. Be able to run in a pretty beefy ball of units somewhere as well to, you know, provide a actual threat to Zest. Can never be too bad of a thing. Well, getting a bit ambitious, chasing down a probe underneath the 6 carriers there, as well as the Void Rays. We saw SOO going up against Beyond 2 days ago in 9 maps played. And his creep spread was pretty magnificent, I have to say. Hoping to see that again here, and well, I'm not being disappointed so far. That is for certain. Although in that previous game, he probably, or that previous series, he probably would have had a bit more creep spread in all directions. So even on the bottom right side. Then again, Glittering Ashes is a fairly large map in that aspect. Going into the corners. Getting a bit uppity right now with the Ravager Corruptor army. There's a couple of queens here as well. SOO is still SOO after all. Likes that mid-game. Is that going to bring him trouble though? I don't know. Seems to me like it would be such a benefit to have just 1 or 2 Vipers here before you take a fight like this. Again, that might give the opportunity for your opponent to also get Storm, have all sorts of other answers ready. Now there are the Archons, definitely keeping the Corruptors at bay. The carriers aren't even really participating here in this fight. Well, they are sometimes when the Corruptors try to come forwards. Together with the Void Rays, they are pushed backwards quite quickly. It seems like mostly the Zealots kind of cleaning up the Roaches. at this moment in time, and those Corruptors still just trying to find a way to get on top of those carriers, not entirely finding their way onto them. Those Archons quite well microed continuously. More roaches trying to snipe those down, but still no success. So he is pretty much maxed out on supply. He's got money. 18 more roaches in production though. Yeah. That was a very awkward push. Huh. 13 drones die, a base goes down, and well, SOO has been made look silly, really. He's running in with his Corruptors, and then he's every time like, oh right, yeah, you have Archons, never mind, let me move back again. Holding this ledge over here pretty well, making it difficult for the Protoss land army to come in here, with the biles of course being thrown down in this tiny choke point. Finally gets one of those Archons. Is that the first Archon that died? Yes it was. The second one quick to follow though. It kind of shows you how beefy these boys have been and how much work they've been doing so far, kind of zoning away and clearing that path for the carriers and the Void Ray. I'm not even certain if the Corruptors would win without the Archons being here. Well, yeah, probably they would, right? Probably they would. Depends on if they fight the accelerated thingamajig, the prismatic alignment ability. Is that what it's called? It's probably what it's called. No, I could probably say that's what it's called, and most of you fools would believe me. Huh? No, I don't know. I do get corrected a lot for those type of things. Oh. The silent maturity. Doesn't get himself connected there. Careful, Mr. SOO. Back up on your ramp you go. Wants this fight to go in his favor here with a nice arc. The Corruptors, how many do we have left? 12? That's not that many. 3 Void Rays to remain, 4 carriers, and there it is. GG is called. They always say it's not good for players to change their names, but that doubly applies so for organizations, I feel like. The maternal natural? Natural. Yeah, I said the unnatural natural. That's how I like to describe it. The unnatural, maybe I should just say. Coming in to see what do we got. Gonna watch as the overlord here of SOO's coming in as well. It's an adept being built. Not much else so far from Zest. Okay. We're Chrono to try and get that secondary adept out. Wants to come in hot and dirty with those 2 boys. They didn't get to do too much the previous game because they were used quite defensively. Remember on the 3rd base? They died. Yeah, gruesome deaths. But this time around he's gonna have them a little bit sooner. Let's see if he will be able to utilize them offensively because of it. Oh. Misfire on one of the adepts, quickly rectified by Zest. Smart cancellation. Didn't want to get surrounded by the Zerglings. There's 10 Zerglings being produced right now. This is a lot of drones that SOO is not getting. Was that me? Did I just get a message? Was that a message sound somewhere? I don't know. I could be... oh well. Anyway, look at that! Stargates. Stargates, 2 of them. Is he going to be safe against the Zergling flood? And the Baneling flood? What? Well, nothing happened there. It's coming in. Banelings. Oh dear, oh dear. I did not expect Banelings. When's the last time you've seen a Baneling bust against the Protoss? Well, that might just do it. That might just do it. There's 4 Adepts. This is a lot of trouble. If those Adepts die somehow... well, I guess he has 2 more gateways here. Does he want to go for the probes? He should try to go for the probes, right? Maybe kill the pylons again over here. Sentry comes forwards. Huh. Well, he's equaled out the work count again. 3 Banelings. Let's see if they can... yeah, this... Well, honestly, I thought that would do more. Really felt like he had a good moment there, but the 4 Adepts, a quick recall from Zest, kind of saving the day in a way. Even though it didn't feel that impossible for SOO to kind of run those links backwards with the Baneling he still had. I guess the Baneling would get targeted down by someone like Zest, right? He would not allow that Baneling to get anywhere near the Adepts. Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense to still go for the probes. I guess he just couldn't really get that Baneling to detonate somewhere close to a lot of probes and then target everything down anymore, right? To be fair, he did get 13 of them, so that is still a good amount. But a lot of that was on a natural base, it felt like. So now it's Zest's time again to try and figure something out. As they ping-pong back and forth. Terrible injuries between one another. Couple of overlords. There you go. Bit of a start. It's gonna actually supply block SOO. Quite tremendously so for a long time. Only now starting the overlord. So yeah, there you go. If he gets another overlord actually, he's making enough Phoenix to do so. He could find an overlord somewhere, right? I'm pretty sure. Oh, he's gonna go for the Banelings, picking them up, picking up the queens, trying to make room for his Adepts to do something. Seeing there was 1 more Baneling there, might want to try to do a big run by with the Phoenix on top of that. Get rid of him and then... No, he's moving backwards. Huh. Alright. 44 workers versus 52. He's got the 7 Phoenix, a fleet beacon on the way. And to be fair, seeing the way the air army of the Protoss was approached by SOO previously, I would not fear that position in the game at all if I was Zest, right? You'd probably be like, okay, I'm just gonna get to that army composition until you show me that you can actually deal with it. But SOO might just be under the... well, not under the influence, but he might be under the idea that, you know what, maybe I should just kill you before you even get anywhere close to that. Ooh, some good force fields for those Zerglings. A lot of them going down right there. And, yeah, SOO realizing, oh, right, you do have a ramp, and you are Protoss. Force fields are a thing, and those queens struggle to do anything. And also, I'm not sure if he knows about the queens not being able to transfuse off of creep, because he doesn't have the overlord speed, right? Yeah, no, he had no way of getting any creep there. So was that a fake? Was that just to kill the 3rd base? I'm not sure. But it did get the 3rd base, right? It cancelled the 3rd base, got a delay there. It difficult Zest to start making Tempest, I feel like, as well. Rather than Carriers. Then again, maybe he just wanted to do that already. There are Protoss like that, and I feel like Zest is one of them. Doesn't mind a bit of carrier play now and again. Try to just slowly gain the efficiency here with those long-ranged units. You do have to keep trading though, but it seems like a nice kind of approach, having the Phoenix and the Tempest. The Tempest can kind of go one way, the Phoenix I suppose you could utilize to, you know, help out it, let these Tempest escape. You can set up other threats elsewhere, having SOO respond to that. Not a bad shout. The situation we're in right now, these Tempest are starting to do quite a bit here. We'll have their upgrade as well, so they'll start doing more damage to those Spore Crawlers. There we go, one-shotting Queens. And SOO, I'm not sure if you can really let that type of army just sit there and shoot at you from a distance. Either you run forwards or you run backwards, but sitting still somewhere like this, I don't think that's the plan. You need to run away, please. Run more away. Just go further backwards. Probably doesn't want to lose the... Oh, yeah, that is the upgrade kicking in now. Probably doesn't want to lose the Spore Crawlers. Trying to buy time for the Corruptors. Hmm. 13 of them. It's gonna have pretty soon. That could be quite late. Let's take a quick gander. Oh, unless if we have the engagements happen right now. Okay, we're not really. Yeah, this is the trade efficiency right now. This is insane, right? It's what Tempests do. Either they absolutely wreck, or they get slaughtered. And, well, this is looking like a bit of both. This is looking like quite a bit of both. That is not that many Corruptors. The Void Rays are a little bit late. I'm not going to be able to help out enough. There's only one Stalker here as well, though. This Phoenix not going to stop them. So all the Tempests go down. And all that efficiency that we just were talking about, that is absolutely gone now. He's lost twice as much gas as SOO. Or admittedly, SOO lost a little bit more minerals, but that's yeah. That's alright. Roach speed still on the way. This entire time, no Roach speed yet available. The gobbledygook of the Corruptors is actually gonna get a Nexus there. Again, not a lot to really fight those Corruptors at this moment. Zest desperately trying to change that, of course. Adding in more gateways. As well as the extra Void Rays. So looking like he might want to do one of those pushes again. You remember the ones. I feel like it would have been worth trying to get a bit more creep going in the back of your Queens. But alright, here we are. It is 120 army supply from SOO coming down the barrel. Shield battery overcharge was utilized already. That is ended now. Yeah, and I don't think Zest has the numbers here. Void Rays about to lose their alignment. Also, Biles landing on top of them. Yeah, this is that is a dead base for sure. I'm not even quite certain if Zest is going to be able to recuperate or keep any of these bases alive. I suppose the ground force of his is about to go down. And the Corruptors themselves won't be able to do too much. Right? It's going to take a good sec before he has the bile again, or the spewing of the green. So, 30 army supply left. 109. There it is. GG. Not much. Not much. Once again, the drone, the outcast of his own village, has to settle elsewhere and become its own community. Su doing well, since considering he can't read. Su doing pretty well considering he left for ages. I agree with you. Yeah, he definitely is. I don't know exactly if he was able to keep playing as he was doing military service. It's one of those kind of questions that I would like to know. Sometimes a little bit inaccessible, of course, for the English community speaking people. I guess I could have my... there's ways I could figure it out. At the same time, you know, I would have to bother one person to bother another person to ask a question he's probably been asked already quite a couple of times. So I'm just gonna live in the dark until I just by chance stumble upon that information. But yeah, like, honestly, the way he is playing, I would say that he must have been, right? Because he's playing pretty darn good. His show match versus Beyond didn't really go well after that one game that he did win. And to be fair, that previous game as well, right? It wasn't necessarily Su having just an amazing strategy. It was more so that the strategy of Zest seemed to have quite a severe flaw, where the Tempest didn't have any protection from the Corruptors, even though he already had quite a good amount of Tempest where he was one-shotting the Queens. Right, I don't think you need that many more Tempests. If you start making Void Rays after that, or you get a couple of Archons with it, maybe even Carriers, something else, right, to make sure that those Corruptors don't just come out in bulk and devastate you, I feel like you'll be okay. You'll still be able to get all that value, you'll still be able to kind of keep gaining that value, really, if you micro it the appropriate way. The way Mr. StarCraft intended. Mr. StarCraft, of course, the man who invented StarCraft. Which is a collection of guys. Oh. Oracle, 3 kills. And he's out of there, a real killer. Who is Mr. StarCraft? He's the guy that invented StarCraft. Oh, glaives! Well, I'll be. Mr. StarCraft Brood War. Yes, of course. And then he had his son, Mr. StarCraft Wings of Liberty. Oh. Right, this is interesting. There's 4 adepts here. Glaive is not done yet, but he is still being a little bit aggressive with these adepts. I like it because we've been seeing adepts previously in these games as well, without any intention of going for the adept glaives, right? So, even being a little bit aggressive here, that's what he's been doing so far. And it doesn't necessarily communicate to me that this... You know, this is gonna happen. In a lot of games, if I have 4 adepts just kind of poking me and I didn't get a good scout off, I most certainly would try to prepare for this inevitability. Well, I say inevitability, but just potentiality to occur. How is this gonna unfold? Oh my dear goodness, that is massive. Did that work? That actually worked. I can't believe it. I can't believe that worked. He just stayed distrapped half the army mid-fight. Just mid-fight, just brazenly, just kind of, yeah, alright, well, that's quite big. He's not getting that many drone kills just quite yet, though, to be fair. He's only gotten 4 of them, which is incredibly surprising to me. And then he loses the... How did that go so... What? What? How is Zest doing this? Every, like, 2 games in a row. It's like, wow, that is insane. That is so good. And then it's like, oh no, he's dead. Dear God, Zest, what happened? How did that happen? Well, I guess, you know, the word count here is pretty far still down the toilet for SOO. And those slings not getting done anywhere near the amount that I thought they could. Right, those 2 adepts right there, really the heroes of the Protoss village with the shield battery in their back. That was, oof, okay, this is still a big battle in the works, I feel like, and this is once again going to be a triple Stargate with the fleet beacon. Doubt we'll see Tempest again. No, don't think Zest is gonna go for those boys once more. There is a Spire coming up, so we know those Corruptors are a potentiality if we do get Tempest here. And again, we do have the 3 Void Rays as well. He might approach the situation differently, but no, he is going to go for those carriers. Fair enough. Fair enough. You see those? I don't know if you did. It felt like he did a manganation. I think he was both in a single game. You know, that previous game, he was like tier 1, and then suddenly what? What? How did that fall apart so quickly? Okay, circlings there. Do get the shield battery. The one thing the shield battery can't heal is a shield battery. Unless if there's another shield battery healing the shield battery. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. These 2 adepts killed more drones than that entire flock of adepts we had earlier in the game. And the Oracle. Right? I don't know. There were more drone kills overall. Maybe the Oracle's got more kills, but... at least that one attack there. Yeesh. Alright. Moving things along. Moving things along. Zest with quite a sturdy army here. One that SOO had a lot of difficulty with beating previously. The Archons are not here quite yet, but of course that alignment ability for the Void Rays still kicks like a mule. So wanna watch out for that one. And now we do have the High Templars being warped in. Gonna be starting the transformation into the Archons. Bit of an opportunity here perhaps for the Corruptors to still try and make something happen. Let's see. Well, he killed a carrier and he killed 2 Void Rays in total. Overall trading looking pretty equal. Nothing out of the ordinary. I think SOO is on the drone counts that you would probably want to be just quite yet. It's going to be quite difficult for him to have a ginormous bank. In particular, I'm saying this because we've seen his playstyle a couple of times where it does appear that he prefers the tier 2 units, and with the tier 2 units it becomes even more important that you have a ability to replenish your forces, right? That being said, I really am enjoying the way he's approaching this situation here with the spore crawlers on the side, having the roaches come in from the top with corruptor support. He even has the queens over here to provide the transfusions. Little zealot run by heading off towards the other bases as this fight here is looking eerily similar to game number 1. Queens are going to go down. Those zealots are going uncontested. Roaches and Ravager now being sent over, trying to deal with it. How many corruptors do we still have? 22. Those Archons, they are quite scary though. But I guess SOO realizing, you know what? Not killing those carriers might be even scarier. And I think he's right. Then again, he did lose 19 workers here due to the Zealots, and the rest of the army of Zest is coming in. That should be the end of it, right? I don't think you can really recuperate here any longer. Being SOO. As he's put back on full basis, he's losing again a large quantity of drones overall, down to 59. He did manage to remax, gotta give it to him, but at the same time, well, he just lost all his corruptors. Right, that's not gonna work. This is not gonna work, SOO. I'm sorry, my friend. He's gonna try. It's absolute darnest. This Protoss army here is just a little bit too technologically complicated for his roaches to deal with. Unlockers. Who's observing? I am. Desric. Did I miss something? Maybe this? Maybe this? No. No, we're fine. I think. Huh. Okay. He's pulled backwards. I think that's okay. I don't think he really has to be too worried, right? Because there's no base here. He probably... Does he know about that? I don't think he knows about that for certain. But he knows there's no bases here. So either, he's like, okay, so either you're on 4 base or you're on 5 base. 5 base could still be a problem. He's gonna start looking around over here, whether or not there is a base. He's gonna not see any. That's gotta be filling him with joy at this moment in time. As actually we have the final fight here most likely occurring. No. There we are. Alright. SOO realizing he is dead before Zest realizing that he could kill his opponents. It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. GG. Okay. So it does seem like SOO has a good shot at winning if Zest kind of does something funky, right? Something a little bit less meta or defined by the meta right now. Like those Tempests, you don't really see them that much. To be fair, he was gaining so much value with them that, I can see why people are still trying them out now and again. Maybe that is just not the correct way of applying Tempest, right? If you have the 5 Tempest, you're one-shotting the queens. Maybe you can make something happen right then and there with it, but yeah, not quite the case. Is he not going to check a 3rd base? He didn't. Okay, well, Zest woefully unaware that there is not a new base being built. Well, there is. But, yeah, he doesn't know that it's quite important for him to figure out where this base is being built. And even with the completion of the Cybercore, doesn't quite have the vision range. It's not that much right here. He's going to see the creep pretty soon. There we go, that's a cancel. I'm not quite sure what he cancelled. Getting a forge right now. Wants to try and get cannons. I think he cancelled the Stargate. Must have been, right? Must have been. I like the quick forge. That's interesting. Wasn't the first thing in my mind to do, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. Ooh, the Zerglings! Oh, almost. Oh my dear lord, how are they doing this? Oh, shield battery finishes up just in time. Man, that would have been rough though. Well, it's still kind of rough. Still a lot of damage onto that adept and a lot of energy away from the shield batteries. Now when the spine crawlers are here, immediate shield battery overcharge is going to have to be applied. Starting to take some damage now onto the spine crawlers here. The shield battery overcharge about to finish as it is now done. More battery energy behind 3 cannons in production. Would be good to start poking those down as well. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. The spine crawler. Zest on the prowl, wants to get it. Does manage to snipe it down. Another spine crawler does get targeted, but SOO, quick action with those Zerglings. Manages to get a bit of a punish there. Those units not going free after taking out that spine crawler. What else is happening here? I don't think there is much happening here. It's another GG. And, well, the valiant effort. I thought, you know, this would be a nice one, but unlucky. GG is cold.